Fellow Craft Degree. First Section Lecture. Will you be off or from? From. From what? From the degree of entered apprentice to that of fellow craft. Are you a fellow craft? I am. Try me. How will you be tried? By the square. Why by the square? Because it is one of the working tools of my profession. What is a square? An angle of 90 degrees or the fourth part of a circle. Where were you made a fellow craft? In a just and lawfully constituted lodge of fellow crafts. How were you prepared? By being divested of all metals, neither naked nor clad, barefoot nor shod, hoodwinked, and a cable tow twice about my naked right arm, in which situation I was conducted to the door of the lodge by a brother. Why had you a cable tow twice about your naked right arm? It was to show that, as a fellow craft, I was under a double tie to the fraternity. How gained you admission? By 3 distinct knocks. To what do these knocks allude? To the 3 jewels of a fellow craft, the attentive ear, the instructive tongue, and the faithful breast. What was said to you from within? Who comes here? Your answer. A brother, who has been regularly initiated as an entered apprentice, and now wishes to receive more light in masonry by being passed to the degree of fellow craft. What were you then asked? If it was of my own free will and accord, if I was duly and truly prepared, worthy and well qualified, if I had made suitable proficiency in the preceding degree, all of which being answered in the affirmative, I was asked by what further right or benefit I expected to gain admission. Your answer. By the benefit of the pass. Did you give the pass? I gave it not, my guide gave it for me. What followed? I was directed to wait with patience until the worshipful master was informed of my request, and his answer returned. What answer did he return? Let him enter and be received in due and ancient form. How were you received? On the angle of the square at my naked right breast, which was to teach me that the square of virtue should be the rule and guide to my conduct in all my future actions with mankind. How were you then disposed of? I was conducted twice about the altar, to the junior warden in the south, where the same questions were asked, and like answers returned as at the door. How did the junior warden dispose of you? He directed me to the senior warden in the west, where the same questions were asked, and like answers returned as before. How did the senior warden dispose of you? He directed me to the worshipful master in the east, where the same questions were asked, and like answers returned as before. How did the worshipful master dispose of you? He ordered me to be reconducted to the senior warden in the west, who taught me to approach to the east, advancing by 2 upright, regular steps, my feet forming the right angle of an oblong square, my body erect to the worshipful master in the east. What did the worshipful master then do with you? He made me a fellow craft. How? In due form. What is that due form? Kneeling on my naked right knee, my left forming a square, my body erect, my naked right hand resting on the Holy Bible, square and compasses, my left elbow forming a right angle, supported by the square, in which due form I took the obligation of a fellow craft. After taking the obligation, what were you then asked? What I most desired. Your answer. More light in masonry. Did you receive it? I did. How? By order of the worshipful master, and assistance of the brethren. On being brought to light, what did you first discover on the altar more than you had heretofore done? One point of the compasses bare, the other being hidden, which was to teach me that as yet I had received light in masonry but partially. What did you then discover? The worshipful master approaching me from the east, under the due guard and sign of a fellow craft, who, in token of the continuance of his brotherly love and friendship, presented me his right hand, and with it the pass, token of the pass, grip and word of a fellow craft, and bade me arise, and salute the wardens as such. After saluting the wardens, how were you then disposed of? The worshipful master ordered me to be reconducted to the senior warden in the west, who taught me how to wear my apron as a fellow craft. How should a fellow craft wear his apron? With the bib turned down, and the left-hand corner of the apron brought up and tucked in. After being taught how to wear your apron as a fellow craft, how were you then disposed of? I was conducted to the right hand of the worshipful master in the east, who presented me with the working tools of a fellow craft, and taught me their uses. What are the working tools of a fellow craft? The plumb, square and level. What are their uses? The plumb is an instrument made use of by operative masons to raise perpendiculars, the square to square their work, and the level to lay horizontals, but we as free and accepted masons are taught to make use of them for more noble and glorious purposes. The plumb admonishes us to walk uprightly in our several stations before God and man, squaring our actions by the square of virtue, ever remembering that we are traveling upon that level of time, towards that you discovered country, from whose bourne no traveler returns. How were you then disposed of? I was ordered to be reconducted to the place whence I came, there be reinvested of what I had been divested, and informed that agreeable to an ancient custom in all regular and well-governed lodges of fellow crafts, it would be necessary that I make a regular ascent up a flight of winding stairs, consisting of 3, 5, and 7 steps, into a place representing the middle chamber of King Solomon's temple, there to receive further instruction relative to the wages of a fellow craft, which are corn, wine and oil, emblematical of plenty, health and peace. Have you any signs belonging to this degree? I have several. Give me a sign. Due guard. What is that? The due guard of a fellow craft. Has that an allusion? It has, to the position in which my hands were placed in when I took the obligation. Give me another sign. Penalty. What is that? The sign of a fellow craft. Has that an allusion? It has, to the penalty of the obligation. Give me a token. Entered apprentice grip. Will you be off or from? From. From what? From the grip of an entered apprentice to the pass grip of a fellow craft. Pass grip of a fellow craft. What is that? The pass grip of a fellow craft. Has it a name? It has. Will you give it me? I did not so receive it, neither can I so impart it. How will you dispose of it? Syllable or letter it with you. Syllable and begin. Begin you. Nay, you must begin. Pass given. Will you be off or from? From. From what? From the pass grip of a fellow craft to the grip of the same. Grip of a fellow craft. What is that? The grip of a fellow craft. Has it a name? It has. Will you give it me? I did not so receive it, neither can I so impart it. How will you dispose of it? Letter or syllable it with you. Letter and begin. Begin you. Nay, you must begin. Word given.